everyone to our
Recording
first
in
day
progress.
of Monetize Your Socials Bootcamp. My name is Mandy Summers. I'm so excited to be here. And I'm super excited that I get to share a lot of the things that we've learned over the last 3 years on how to monetize your social media, utilizing a bunch of different things. So this week is going to be super fun. And I'm pretty sure you're going to learn a ton. So buckle up. I hope you brought your notepads and you've got either your notes on your phone, or a lot of people just like to write. In fact, put in the comments if you are somebody who takes notes on the phone or on your computer or are you a notebook person? So, okay, Faith is a paper person. Yeah, I actually love just writing down notebook, all three. Okay, so many of you are paper, and I actually love that. My desk is glass, and I often will use a dry erase, and I take notes directly on my desk, and then I take pictures of them, and then I put them in my notes later. But I just will write on my desk. I love it. So super fun that you're here, and I would love to hear what inspired you to show up this week. Why did you decide to jump in and be a part of this Monetize Your Social Bootcamp? And while you're thinking about that and hopefully putting it in the comments, oh, I love it. We've still got more paper coming in. This is actually so enlightening to know, because I think so often we get in this phase where we're like, everybody is computerized, and there's so much value in being able to write it down. For me, it's a way that I can learn. And so, gosh, I'm actually getting all these ideas of things that I should produce, paper option, that we'll talk about this week. And you'll know why, because as I've been studying for this and I've been getting everything ready, we've got a lot of different options that we will be sharing throughout this week on how to monetize your social media. And so I'm hoping that it will be, I really, my goal is to give you like a mind-blowing week where you're like, the possibilities are endless. So super excited. Day one, we're going to talk about unlocking your digital potential. Day two, we're going to be talking about finding your ideal platform. So today, even though we'll be talking about platforms, tomorrow we're going to be very specific with the different platforms and how to utilize them to monetize your influence and monetize your socials. And then day three, we're going to talk about 5 ways, like 5 very specific ways to monetize your social media. And we're actually going to get deep into the how of it, not just like the why behind it. And then day 4, we're going to simplify and scale with smart systems. I'm going to show you how to set up systems so that it's easy to organize, it's easy to process, and you can manage your business in an organized way. I know for me, it was not possible until I got organized. And then finally, the 5th day, we're going to talk about the road ahead, putting it all together. This week, I'm actually going to ask you to do a bunch of homework. And I'm hoping that as we do some homework and we get this all set, that like taking action, I believe, is key in making sure that we begin implementing. We have to show ourselves that we can implement exactly what we're talking about. And so that means that throughout this week, I want you to prove to yourself that you're going to show up for your business, for your goals, for your dreams, and for your business. And the best way to do that is to participate. And so we want to invite you to jump into our Monetize Your Socials community. John's actually going to post a link right now. You can jump in there. That's where we are going to want to see your homework posted. So by the end of this class, you're going to have a lot of homework to do. Well, I say a lot. Hopefully that's not too daunting, but you will definitely walk away with some homework that you're going to need to spend some time on to get done. And so my hope is that as you do that, you'll be inspired, and you'll you'll start to feel like you know how to move forward from here. And so I'll drop that in the comments on YouTube as well. So welcome everybody who's joining us on YouTube and LinkedIn. So good to see you here. We tried to go live on X, but I just was having technical difficulties. So maybe tomorrow we'll get X going. That will be lots of fun. There's lots of different ways to jump on. If you want to join the Zoom as well, you can jump into our Zoom room. Yeah, Fernando said, are you trying to scare us? And I'm trying to inspire you. And I'm just trying to give you a realistic view of what to expect this week. And the hope is that you're going to take what you've learned and you're going to apply it. And as a result, you're going to have some really great success. That is the hope and the goal for this week. So this is our Monetize Your Social groups. You'll notice that it's actually off of Facebook. We do a lot of our groups on Facebook. And so this will actually be in the summer school platform. And so John did just drop that link for you. And then you can actually sign up for class notifications to come to your Facebook Messenger. And so John will drop the link for that right now. If you want to sign up for our Messenger notifications, so that it goes directly into your message inbox, then you can grab that link there. And actually, now that I'm saying that, John, I'm not sure I added that link. Let me just see here. Oh, I didn't.
No,
Okay. I will add that in. All of a sudden I was like, I remember thinking about that. So we'll get that added actually into the Monetize Your Social Bootcamp group. And then we also have a Monetize Your Socials Instagram chat group. What I'm trying to do is wherever you land, I want you to be able to have access to our trainings and reminders. And so you can jump into our Instagram chat group. I will post in there before we go live. It's usually a couple hours before we go live, whereas the Facebook mini chat is that one tends to be like 2 minutes before we go live. And so you're just going to have to decide. Well, and you can actually sign up for all of them, but I wanted to give you that option so that you have the ability to jump into those. And actually, as we're speaking, I'm going to share this link right here. Okay, so we'll jump in and I'll grab that link right now for, here we go. Perfect. Copy that. Yay. Okay, we'll put that in the chat. So this is our, if you want Facebook notifications. Now that you see kind of where we're at, I'm hoping that you pay attention throughout this week on how I'm running these different things, because you can see I'm helping to build a community. And really, when you're growing any type of social media, that's what it's all about, is building a community and helping people, guide them through to, you get to be their guide on whatever that is, whatever topic you love talking about. And I would love to ask you and put in the comments, if you're willing to, what are the favorite things that you like to talk about? What is sitting on your heart that you're thinking, you know what, I would love to build some sort of social media income off of sharing this message. And so put it in the comments. What are some of the messages that you love to resonate and connect with and chat about? Because it doesn't just have to be one thing or another. As I have been prepping for this and over the last 3 years, as I've gone through this process, I have interacted with hundreds of creators who are making, they've monetized their social media, and they are from all walks of life, from all different countries, from all different types of industries. And so it's really important that you don't feel like you have to like pigeonhole yourself into one industry. This monetizing your social media is for anyone who has something that they want to share with the world. And so we're going to talk a lot about that. So we've got a couple things. We've got natural solutions, healing from the heart and mind so you can feel peace and have strong and safe relationships. I love that. Mindset, overcoming negative mind chatter. Beautiful. Blue Mind, using water, sound, and visuals along with meditations, inspirations that help people feel happier, healthier, and more connected and more creative. Now, with these things that have already come in, I'm curious, put a 2 in the comments if any of these resonate with you. If any of these you're like, yeah, I would actually love to watch more content on these. We've got some 2s coming in. Day-to-day healthy eating made easy. I love it with doTERRA products and essential oils. Beautiful. It's awesome. So there's lots of different modalities that we can chat with. In fact, I've got a lot of different clients that literally come from all different walks of life, spectrum, and you can monetize anything on your social media. Now, some of them are going to be a little more lucrative than others, and we'll talk about that this week. But my hope is that you really catch that fire, you catch the vision, and you feel inspired to dive all in. Okay, so let's just jump right into, let's go back to our presentation. I am running a couple different streams right now, and so I'm having to jump. When I share screen, I have to share twice. I want to kind of share with you what to expect. So throughout this week, we're going to have an hour of interaction where I am sharing some sort of techniques and tools and inspiration to help you in this process. And then if you're in our VIP group, then which the VIP groups, they actually get an extra 30 minutes to an hour with me after, where they can ask questions. We can like brainstorm, we can chat through and I can help kind of work through whatever questions or comments that you have. Plus you get all the replays. And so John, will you drop that link in case anybody is wanting any of that? You can jump into the VIP group there. But throughout the week, you are going to have access to some homework assignments that are a little bit beefier than some of our other boot camps that we've done. A lot of times I'm like, ooh, share your top 3 favorite things to talk about. Well, today and the next 4 days, I'm going to have you think a little bit deeper, because if you really want to become a professional at growing and monetizing your social media, then you have to start thinking like a professional and taking action like a professional. And so that's what to expect. I do want to put this in here just because it's important for a lot of different rules that are all over the internet, that I am not guaranteeing any results from what I'm sharing this week. What I'm going to be sharing is my personal experience. These are the experiences that I've had and some of the coaches and friends that I've had throughout the industry, some people that I follow, and where I'm going to be sharing a lot of that throughout this week. But just want to make sure that. Now, I want to start with this picture of me. This was actually 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, I was a young mom. This was actually taken, we were building a house. So this was in our master bathroom. I had my 2 boys with me, Tevin and Tyler. And then I don't know if you can tell, but I'm 8 months pregnant here. You probably can, because I was definitely this was taken on April 21st and I delivered less than a month later. And so, super. Oh, Shelly's saying that you can't see. Can you put a 2 in the comments if you can't see? And okay, so Faith is saying that you can. Okay, awesome. If you're on your phone, you might have to swipe over. Sometimes if you're watching on Zoom on your phone, it will go to a black screen and you have to swipe over to see. But so the reason why I'm showing this picture is because I was actually working at this point in my life, and I had a job where I was working from home. I was managing a apartment complex with, I believe, about 85 different apartments. I'm trying to think. It was 3 levels. And we had 4 buildings. I think it was close to about 80 apartments. And it was full-time work, but it was work from home. It was demanding. I had to manage maintenance people. I had to manage contracts and leases. But my heart and my goals always wanted to be to raise my kids at home. Well, we were building a house, so I was going to lose that job. And of course, my thoughts went to, how can I replace this income? What can I do to make up the difference? Because now we're moving from having a great source of income to it's starting I'm going to be at home. I'm going to need to come up with something. And actually back then it was right when eBay was starting to get really big. And so I was starting my very first online business right in the midst of this. And the business was, I was having my very first girl. So I'm 8 months pregnant with my first daughter. And I had created these really cute headbands. Now the headbands were not your typical. I actually would go to Walmart and I would buy pantyhose that were knee length. and they were $1 each. So it was very cheap. And I would buy flowers and like artificial flowers and ribbon, and I would create these really soft headbands for little babies. And the reason why I did this is I had noticed that a lot of my friends who had girls would like put these really tight elastics on their heads, and it would just like hurt me. Like, I've always struggled wearing hats because I like don't want my head to like hurt. And so at this moment in time when this picture was taken, I was in the process of creating these really fun headbands that I would sell on eBay, along with these. I would make baby bracelets, and they were really cute and like a little bit more high end. And I loved the beauty of gemstones and things like that. And so I would make these little tiny, tiny baby bracelets and sell those on eBay as well. So this was the beginning of my online journey. And I had so much fun doing this. It was like, part of me was like, I'm probably not making money because I was buying too many supplies. But then as I got on eBay, I realized that I could buy these pallets of like electronics. And so I started buying these pallets of electronics, and then I would sell those on eBay as well. And it's so funny, just in the last 2 weeks, John and I were watching reels together, and we came across this lady who buys unopened mail in big giant pallets. And I was like, remember when we did that? When we would buy these, like, and what we would buy was returned electronics. And so some of them would work, some of them wouldn't, but you can buy unclaimed mail. So what she does is she gets online and she goes live and she opens up these unclaimed mail packages, and she's like, what's going to be in it today? And sometimes it's car parts, and sometimes it's baby supplies, and sometimes it's like random things that she has no idea that it is, but then she puts them on eBay and she can sell them. And so it's a very interesting concept. And I just had to laugh that 20 years later, people are still doing that, and they're still using eBay for that. And so that was kind of where I got started. That was the beginning of the process. And a month later, I had a baby, and I actually went on to create a website, a digital scrapbooking website called Digital Scrappin'. And we were like brand new, right in at the cusp of people digitizing things. And we created thousands of backgrounds and like little stickers that you could use digitally. And we created so many of them that Creative Memories actually purchased us for our digital content that we had created. And that was 2 years later that had happened. And so I tell you all this because I've always loved building online. And for the last 20 years, like, I have been in this space building online. Now, fast forward a couple years, and I got into triathloning. So each one of these taught me something different. First, I was doing like the online stores on eBay. Then I was actually creating digital products to sell. Then I moved into community building. And so on Facebook, I became not on Facebook, but I just became a triathlon coach, and I started building a community on Facebook and collecting emails. Like, I had no email program. This was just like coming straight from my email account. And I would send weekly emails out to people who were training for triathlons. And I actually created a free lead magnet, which back then I had no idea what I was doing, but you could get a 12-week, a 0 to triathlon, like to finish triathlon training program for anybody who was just like average. We were called the average tri girls. And so that was my beginning of building out my online presence for communities. Now, back then, had I known back then really how to do online effectively, I'd be way farther ahead than I am now. But I'm so thankful for each one of those experiences because they taught me something about where I'm at. And so my hope is that I can take my experience that I've had, and I can share it with you so you don't have to go through 20 years of building online experience. The hope is in this boot camp is that I can break it down to the best things that I've learned, the most effective things that I've learned, so you don't have to go through years of training people in triathlons. Or then after that, I became an affiliate marketer, and I started affiliating with different companies, and we have made hundreds of thousands of dollars doing that. And so we've got this really wide range of experience up until just in this last year, we started creating subscriptions. So, from all of that, we're going to talk all about this week and some of my favorite things that you can do to grow online. So, in that process, I just want to give you, and I'm not sharing any of this to be like, look at what I've done. It's more of like to give you proof that it can be done, because I'm telling you, if I can do this, 100% you can do this. Like, there's no question in my mind, 100% you can do this. If Mandy is able to, then you are able to as well. And so, in the last 5 years since I have jumped into YouTube, I have grown my YouTube channel from 426 subscribers, because back in when I was building communities, I wasn't really focused in on YouTube, to over 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. I've also built out digital products that we've sold over $1.6 million. And that's just one of my Stripe accounts. We've got other Stripe accounts that we have connected to some of our digital products. I've also built out, here is one of our commissions that we got from one of our affiliates recently. And so we've built out a lot of affiliate marketing as well. And this is one of our screenshots from just one of our days of our subscriptions that we've got coming out. And so I just wanted to show you that we're not doing just one thing. We are really focused in on multiple things. Now, I don't want to give you just my experience. I want to share with you some of the people that I've been inspired by. One of them, his name is Hunter Williams, and he is somebody that my husband found on podcasting. And I'm always fascinated by people who have built any kind of community. And so I want to show you, it doesn't have to be just like one type of a community. Hunter has built a huge YouTube channel, and then it got taken down. Like, it got YouTube banned it. And so then he restarted. I think he had like 250,000 followers on that YouTube channel, maybe even more. And now he just restarted his channel and he's back at 13,000. Now, he has a subscription, a monthly subscription that's $97 a month, and he's got over 400 people in that subscription. So you do the math. It's absolutely amazing. And this is from being consistent. He has consistently been posting content on social media, and then he created an amazing subscription platform for that. And that is for like being healthy and basically in his subscription program, which I'm not in, but I've listened to some of his podcasts. You can jump on and they just chat. They talk about health and wellness, peptides, and some other things. And so you can see, like, in the health and wellness space, there is definitely room for you to grow some sort of thing. And then we've got Shineify. So this is Chase from Shineify. And just in the last year, he's done $325,000 in affiliate marketing. Just in the last, like, put a 5 in the comments if that like shocks you. And I know, like, you're probably looking at his subscribers and you're like, oh my gosh, he has so many subscribers. Well, in prepping for this, because I actually watch a lot of his things, I went back and I dug deep into like his subscriptions and who, like, when he was growing, and he has committed to going live every single day. And in the last month, he's gotten 19,000 new subscribers. And in the last 2 months, he's gotten 40,000 new subscribers. So I tell you this because he is doing the work. He is actively doing the work. He is busy doing the work. He's not like dreaming about it. He is taking significant action. And so as you're watching this, and I want you to think, if you want to get to this point, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to give up to have your dreams? Are you willing to give up your Netflix? Are you willing to give up your lazy game time? Like, what is it? Like, what's the thing that's keeping you? Are you willing to give up the negative mindset that might be holding you back in order to achieve your dreams? And so, and sometimes it's like, are you willing to give up just your time, your free time, so that you can build this on the side? So that is affiliate marketing based. And then we have Wit and Wire. And this is somebody who I just found her on YouTube, and she did a great video, and she was sharing like about her success that she's had. And she's done over 200K in digital services just from building out um, a social media following. And so, like, isn't it incredible? Like, if you put in the time and effort and the energy, and this week I'm going to give you some like real tools that you can use in order to make this a little bit more effective and easier for you. It doesn't have to be like super, super hard, but I just want to show you that like lots of people are doing this. This is not just like, I'm not showing up to be like, "Ooh, copy me." It's like, no, like this is an amazing way to grow your business is using social media. And then here's another one of my favorite people to follow, Jay Klaus, I'm sorry. And recently I was listening to one of his episodes, and he mentioned in there that he had just landed an $80,000 for the year sponsorship. So for a year, he went into a contract with a company where he was going to share, and I have no idea what the contract was, but essentially anytime you get sponsorship, you agree to promoting a product for a certain amount of time in a certain amount of videos. And so, like, okay, we've talked affiliate marketing, we've talked subscriptions, we've talked building out online courses, and now we're talking sponsorship. Like, you can get companies to pay you just to share their product, and you don't actually have to have a huge following to have this happen. You need to have some sort of a following, but I'm saying like under 2,000 followers, you can still reach out and start getting sponsorships. And we're going to be talking about that this week, where you can share one of your favorite products or a product that aligns with your brand and get paid from that. Now, another way that you can do, and I didn't put this one on, well, actually, maybe I did. Oh, yeah. Here it is. So this is a YouTuber that I have watched a couple of his videos, but I was so inspired by him because he has a small following, and he just posted this video, how I make $1,500 a month as a small YouTuber. And he does a lot of affiliate marketing with Amazon. So he hasn't even applied to be affiliates all over. It's like he just focuses in on Amazon affiliates and a couple other things. And as a very small YouTuber is making $1,500 a month. So I just want to like pause here for a moment. Put a 9 in the comments if you are feeling excited and inspired. Put a 9 in the comments if you're feeling like, okay, there are so many possibilities here, right? Because a lot of times I think what we think is, oh, like we're going to build a YouTube channel and we're going to get ad revenue from that. And I'm actually going to go over how much you make this week on ads just from YouTube. It's not as much as you think. It's not as much as you think. And so, I wanted to give you a wide variety in the Monetize Your Social Bootcamp of ideas so that you're not thinking it's just one. Like, I want you to have limitless possibilities. And so I'm trying to give you a wide range of ideas versus just like one or two. And so I actually let me just see if I've got I've got another one here. So this is a girl that I've recently started following. And what I'm so surprised at is she literally sits down and records her video and talks for like 30 minutes, and has in just, let's see, she started in June. So since June, she did like 3 months of posting. And then she opened up her coaching program, and in 1 weekend made $37,000. So put a 4 in the comments if you would be willing to work for 4 months, knowing that in 4 months you were going to launch a course that would make you $37,000 in 1 weekend. So like, I love it. We've got so many 4s coming in. It's so exciting. And this is what I'm talking about, is there are so many possibilities out there, and there are so many people doing it. And my question is there a voice that's going on in your head saying, oh, I know a lot of people do that, but I could never do that? Because if so, I want you to squash it right now. I want you to like push it out, because between you and me, we are so similar. Like in the grand scheme of things, like I just had a dream of something to do. And the only difference between, well, there's probably not even a difference, because maybe you have put the effort in, But maybe you're missing, like for me, I did 250 videos on YouTube before I ever got over 425 subscribers. And so that was because I didn't know the recipe. So I'm glad you're here because hopefully I can give you some of the tools that I've used to monetize my social media. If these people can do it, and if I can do it, 100%, I know that you can do it. Now, I took one of my all-time favorite quotes and I changed it up just a little. And it's probably not a quote you've ever heard before, but it's a quote by one of my favorite speakers. His name is Jeffrey R. Holland. And he's in this quote, he's actually talking about marriage. But as I was making this presentation, I was like, this is actually a really good quote to use, and I'm going to change it to business. So this is how it goes. No one would wish an unsuccessful business on anyone, but where do we think successful businesses come from? They don't spring full blown from the head of Zeus any more than does a good education or a successful friendship or a good symphony. Why should a business require fewer tears and less toil and shabbier commitment than your job or your clothes or the Netflix series or your car? Yet some of you will spend less time on the quality and substance and purpose of your content than you will maintaining your 2024 Bronco, and you will break your heart and your family's heart until your dream is then dissolved. The reason why it says break your heart is because a lot of times what happens, and maybe put this in the comments, have you ever felt like you've been holding on to a dream so long that it's like messing with some relationships? Or like you're starting to feel like, I don't know if I believe that I can do this, and I don't know if my family believes. It's like it can just be so destructive. It can be so destructive when we have these ideas of what we want to do, but we have such a hard time implementing them. And so that quote, I know it was a stretch, but the whole point of it is that anything worth doing is going to require effort and time. It just is. Any good thing that we want to produce, if we want to become a professional at something, then we have to put the time in. We have to put the energy. We have to become a professional. And becoming a professional means that we're going to have to practice, practice, practice. Why would we be any different than the Olympian, than the professional sports player, than the CEO? Like they put practice in. And so today I'm telling you, there's never been a better time to start. Never. In the history of our world, has there been a better time to start growing your influence on social media? And here's why. Years ago, 20, 30 years ago, in fact, 20 years ago, this was probably more like 14. No, like probably 16 years ago. I actually bought a ton of vinyl lettering. And I went on a TV show and I tried to sell them. And on that TV show, thankfully, I didn't have to pay to be on there, but to get a TV spot, it's thousands of dollars. And I got on there and we sold $1,500 worth of product. That was it. I was shocked. I was expecting to like sell out and like do $20,000 of sales, but that's not how it works. Like and the crazy thing is 20 years ago, you would pay thousands of dollars to be on TV. You have access now to, did I share my entire screen that time? I'm so sorry if I did, because that will be a little overwhelming. You have so much like opportunity with all of the social medias that we have. YouTube is the #2 most used search engine on the planet, owned by Google, which is the #1. It's literally free advertising. All you have to do is show up. TikTok, Insta, Facebook, free advertising. These have billions of users every single month, billions of your target ideal clients every single month. And all you have to do is show up and learn how to effectively call out those people. Just like for instance, if you were going to create a TV ad, it would be similar in the sense that you wouldn't just randomly put something up, but you would do research. You would like create a plan of where you're going to send them. Like you wouldn't just do a TV ad on TV and be like, hi, my name is Mandy, buy my product, with like no like reason, like you have to like connect and like speak to the pain point and give them a reason to like follow the link to the next thing. So there's never been a better time to start. So the question is, where do you start? Is anybody feeling that? Put a 1 in the comments if you're like, okay, I'm feeling this, but like, where do I start? And so this week and today we're going to talk about that. We're going to go into this. So the very first thing I want you to do is decide on how you want to earn. How do you want to earn? I just went through some of the ways. That's a small portion of how you can earn online. Did any of those resonate? In fact, put in the comments if there was anything on there that you're like, yeah, I could like create a course. I could do, I could become like get sponsors, and I'm really good at creating content. Like I could create an email list that I'm selling affiliates through. Mindy Heath says subscription. I love that. Like you could do a subscription. Like what are some of the ways? Maybe you want to become an affiliate marketer. Julie says she's going to create a course. Kate says affiliate marketing. Yeah, there's like so many things that you can do on when you decide how you want to earn. Now, I'm going to do the same thing I do with anybody in my academy when they get started and they're trying to build out their system, their customer journey. The one thing that I always say is choose one place to get started. You can add later. It's like, in fact, I'm going to encourage you to add later. But I want you to think about one place that you can start right now. What's the one thing so that you can learn that, get good at that, and then move on to the next thing. So I love all these things. So you got to start somewhere. Decide on like how you want to earn. And, you know, is it going to be subscriptions? Is it going to be ad revenue? Is it going to be course creation? Is it going to be drop shipping? Another great option. Publishing. You can actually do a lot of publishing that happens through Amazon publishing. That's a great one as well. And so, you know, a couple of the other things would be like YouTube. In fact, I am going to pull up, I want to talk real quick, and then we're going to go through a couple more stats. I want to talk about a couple professionals that I've been inspired by. One would be Kobe Bryant. I read somewhere a couple years back that when he was playing basketball, his teammates would like go out and like party after games, and he would go home, go to bed, not in his early years, but when he really like hit his prime and got really good at basketball, because he would always get in a couple hours of practice more than his teammates. So when people were like, oh, he's so good, it's because he put the time in. He took that time and like did the work. He showed up early in the morning before the rest of the team. Here's another one. In fact, I'm going to share my screen. I actually love utilizing AI in this process. Let's just see. Is this the right one? Sorry, give me just a sec. Oh, there we go. Okay, awesome. We're going to pull this one down, and then we are going to share this screen. I'm going to be sharing kind of some of the tabs that we're going through. And so we're going to see if we can do this on YouTube as well. So welcome on YouTube and LinkedIn, everybody who's watching. I'm just having to change kind of how we're going to do in the window. There we go. That will make it so I can go back and forth. Okay, perfect. So Olympians, it's always so fun to watch the Olympics because you get to see amazing things happen in this 2-week period. But the thing that we don't get to see is that these Olympic athletes, they train multiple times a day, often 6 days a week for years on end to become an Olympian. Like, isn't that crazy incredible? Here's another thing that I knew, but I wanted to Google it so AI could tell you. So it wasn't just coming from me, but according to a widely known 10,000 hour rule, it takes then this is by Malcolm Gladwell, and he has a great book. It takes approximately 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to master a skill. And so a lot of times what I see happen in the business world, well, I should say in the small business entrepreneurial world, is we have these big dreams and we start for like a month or two and then we get discouraged. In fact, put a 3 in the comments if this has ever been you, where you're like, I'm going to do this. This is going to be amazing. And then we get discouraged and we take a month or two off and we just like forget what our dream was. And then a couple months later, our dream is like reignited and we jump back in and we spend all this time going in and out of commitment. And so today, one of the things that I want you to do for your homework assignment is decide, what is your commitment level? How committed are you? How many hours in the week are you willing to put into, and this can be on the side, this can be your side gig until it's your full-time gig. How many hours a week are you going to put in to mastering the skill of growing amazing residual incomes online through social media? That's something that I want you to think about. I want you to commit to. And then I don't want you to give up that dream. When things get hard, I want you to lean into that dream and say, you know what? I'm here for a reason and I'm going to keep going. Today is not the day to quit. Now, how many of you have ever read The Success Principles? Any of you? Put a 5 in the comments if you've read this book. This book, like I have one on my nightstand. I have one down in my office. This is a book that has really guided me through business. I often will tell my husband, I wish I had an MBA. He has one, I don't. And I'm so inspired by Jack Canfield. So he is the creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul, which you can see here. So he's the creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul series, but this is the part I wanted to show you. They pitched this to 130 different publishers. Oh, sorry, that didn't, where did it go? Come back. We want that back. Let's see. I don't know what I did there. Oh, there we go. So they pitched it to 130 different publishers and none of them were interested because they said no one wants to read 100 inspirational stories. And thankfully, they didn't give up because this book went on to sell over 500 million copies worldwide. Can you even imagine? So this week, as I push you and I show you different ways to make money online, I don't want you to have a short-sighted vision. I want you to have this, like, he knew that Chicken Soup for the Soul was going to be successful. And then he went on to create the Success Principles, which has been super successful as well. But I love it that this book is about all of the principles that he had to put into place in order to create Chicken Soup for the Soul, or Chicken Soup for the Soul. So, absolutely an incredible lesson on perseverance. And so I don't want you to give up when you hit a roadblock in your online space. I want you to lean into it. And I want you to think, have I been rejected 130 times? Now, I can tell you, after being online for the last, 20 years, I have been rejected over 130 times. Like, seriously rejected. In fact, there's one experience. I'm part of a company that I absolutely love and adore. And I'll tell you, I've had a number of trolls from that company who aren't doing as well as I might be. And some of the messages that I have gotten instead of celebrating success have been just downright nasty, like mean, nasty, horrible, that I'm like, what kind of human would send this kind of a message? In fact, let me just share this. When I first started my YouTube channel, do not make this mistake. I started my YouTube channel back in 2012 with my triathlon team. So I was building this amazing community. We had hundreds of ladies and even men that were training with us. We were having so much success in person at getting people to triathlons and helping them to feel inspired by that. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take this online so we can share and with more people. So I started producing triathlon videos. And these were videos that were like how to set up your bike, how to set up your transition area, how to train for a triathlon, things like that. and they were getting like tens of thousands of views. And there was one troll that was coming to my videos, and he was saying things, and I say he because he had a male name, but he was saying things like, "You're so fat. I can't believe that you think you can be teaching about triathlons. You got this muffin top." I was literally the best shape of my life. I was like 120 pounds, like pure muscle. And instead of like being like, this is obviously a troll, it actually shut me down. And I stopped producing content. And I stopped producing content for a couple years. And then when I jumped back in, I was very, very hesitant. These words affected me so intensely. Just like the words that get sent to me through DMs of people who maybe aren't happy about my success, but at least now I know how to handle that better. So anytime you build something online, you're going to have people who come after you. And so I want you to decide today that that's okay. That's not going to stop you. And I wish I could go back and tell Mandy at 30 years old to just block the trolls. Just like kick them out of your life. You get to decide who can be on your social media and who isn't. And I wish I would have realized that back then. Do not buy into the things that people are telling you that are negative. You don't need that in your life. What you need is a cheerleader. You need someone who's going to believe in you. You need someone who's going to tell you you can do this. On those hard days, you can do this, because there are going to be people who come after you, because that's the nature of the beast. There's opposition in all things, right? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and things just happen. And so I really want you to commit to honoring your dreams. I want you to commit to showing up for you and not being shut down by the haters. Don't let them crush your dreams. What do they know about you? What do they know about your success? What do they know about your story? All you have to do is show up. Show up for you, show up for your family. In fact, back in 2018, I was really struggling in one of my affiliate companies that I was in. I was feeling like down, like I wished that I would have been doing better, and I was actively beating myself up. I'm pretty good at that. I don't know if you are, but that's something that I can be pretty hard on myself. And it was such a struggle to show up at all, but I kept showing up. Even though it didn't feel good. Like, have you ever shown up in something where you're just like, oh, like I can look back at some of the content I created back then, and I like physically cringe over it because I can see how I felt. But the key is I kept going. I kept showing up. And I pushed through. So even when you're it's more important to show up in the hard times than it is in the easy times. It's more important to do the work in the hard times than it is the easy times. Because when you show up in the hard times, you will prove to yourself that you matter and your dreams matter and your goals matter. And you are the number one person that needs to know that. Not me, not your spouse, not your best friend. You have to understand that. And so hopefully this week you'll feel inspired. I kind of pulled up a couple stats. The income potential of building a subscription service can be quite significant if with the possibility of generating consistent recurring revenue through monthly or annual fees. So, and here's the thing, the profit margins for some of the subscription programs can be huge. So they can be a lot bigger than maybe if you're creating. Here's one on affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing can, beginners can make up to 30% commission per sale, sometimes even more. I actually have a couple of affiliates that I make more with, anywhere between 10,000 to 100,000 annually. And you don't have to have a huge following. When I started building my affiliate marketing, I think I had 1,500 subscribers on YouTube, and I did not have anybody on my list. I had to build that momentum, which we're going to talk about this week. I had to speak to a pain point and bring people into my my circle. Let's just go to this one. So what about Shopify? Have you ever thought of starting a Shopify site? So Shopify can do a few $100s to thousands of dollars per month. That's a great option, especially if you want to do TikTok. Drop shipping has a great potential, an average of $1,000 to $3,000 per month. Course creation. This is actually where you can make, I believe, a significant amount. Plus, everything is showing that so many people are going to online learning. In fact, just yesterday, I was watching a video of somebody who taught himself how to code online through YouTube and through online courses that he bought. He used Harvard Business Online School. He did a lot of YouTube and courses and got hired by Elon Musk to work for his company. And the guy interviewing him was like, well, don't these companies want a degree? And the guy was like, nowadays, with all the online learning, it's not as important to have the online degree as it is to show that you can do the work. And so I thought that that was amazing. Like he got amazing success because he took online courses. And then what about social media sponsorships? So social media sponsorships. So micro influencers can earn $100 to $500 per post, while mega influencers can earn up to $10,000 per post, and even more. Like I follow a lot of people who, they'll get $20,000 to $50,000 per post from company sponsorships. And then the income potential for YouTube. We're going to talk a lot more about YouTube tomorrow and on Wednesday. But we're going to talk about kind of AdSense, subscribers, kind of what you can expect on those types of income potentials. So today, before I give you the homework assignment, really today's whole point was to get your mind percolating, to get you thinking, what can you do to monetize your social media? And so I want to give you a couple inspirational people that I have loved learning from and learning about. Maybe I haven't learned from them, but I've learned about them. Did you know that Steven Spielberg was rejected 3 times when he applied to USC's School of Theater and Film and Television? So he ended up going to Long Beach State. And we all know after that, he went on to become one of the greatest producers of all time. And he now sits on the board of directors at the USC Film School. And he donates millions of dollars to that school every year. Isn't that so funny and ironic? Okay, let's go to our next one. Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss was rejected by 27 publishers. The 28th publisher, Vanguard Press, sold 6 million copies of his first book, and it was called And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street. And he went on to sell over 100 million copies. Like crazy, right? Here's another one. So how many of you are MASH fans? Put an M in the comments if you're too young for it. It was like back in the day. But Richard Hooker worked for 7 years on his humorous war novel MASH, only to have it rejected by 21 publishers. And not only did it become a bestseller, but it also became a blockbuster movie and a highly successful television series. Okay, our next one is Michael Jordan. I mean, I love sports and I love basketball, so these ones just inspire me. Did you know Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team? And he once said, I have missed over 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. On 26 occasions, I've been entrusted to take the game-winning shot, and I have missed. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Like, how powerful is that? Like, so I just want you to think, like, if you were to think of your social media posts as shots taken in a basketball game, and have you created 9,000 posts that have missed the shot? Like, If not, you still have work to do. You still have lots of work to do. And then does anybody know who this is? This is Louis L'Amour. And Louis L'Amour was obviously, like, we just saying his name, we all know that he is a successful author with more than 100 Western novels, more than 200 million copies in print. So this is what's shocking. We've talked about a couple novelists so far. He was rejected 350 times before he made his first sale. So and then later he became the first American novelist to receive a special Congressional Gold Medal in recognition of his distinguished career as an author and contributor to the nation through his historically based books. So absolutely incredible, right? Like, so incredible. John Grisham. How many of you have read John Grisham? So this very first book, A Time to Kill, 15 publishers and 30 agents turned him down, and it has sold over 60 million copies. So I'm telling you this because so often when we think about getting started online, we get rejected. And it might be that our rejection comes from within. It might be that our rejection comes from doubters in our family. It might be that rejection comes from doubters online, like the guy that was trolling me years ago. Like, there are so many things that can mess with our minds, but the key is to keep going. I actually wanted to pull this one in the Star Wars movie, which it has been maybe the most, let me just see here. So the Star Wars movie was rejected by every movie studio in Hollywood before 20th Century finally produced it. It went on to become one of the largest grossing movies in film history and created a series of 10 movies that won a total of 7 Academy Awards and $9.2 billion in revenue. Like, mind blowing, right? And we, like, a lot of these things shaped us. They are what made, like, helped to raise us and give us, like, I think of Star Wars and the inspiration in that story, even though, it's just a space story, but you've got the hero and the hero's journey in it. It's like these things have inspired so many of us. So today, what I'm hoping that you will take from this, we've got some homework that I will email this out, but if you want to screenshot this, you can. We're going to define our online potential. So the very first thing I want you to do is I want you to brainstorm your passions and your skills. I want you to write down 3 to 5 things that you're passionate about or that you're skilled at. These things can be hobbies, professional expertise, or even something you love learning about. So I want you to write them down, create a sentence. I love fitness, teaching others, and creating content, something like that. Okay, so that's assignment number 1. Assignment number 2 is to explore monetization opportunities. So for each one of these passions or skills, I want you to list 1 to 2 ways it could be monetized. So for example, fitness, you can offer coaching or selling fitness plans. Teaching, you could create a course or host workshops that you charge for. Content creation, you can start a YouTube channel or create an ebook of some sort. Okay, then number 3 is I want you to choose your top 3. So pick the top 3 monetization methods that excite you the most or feel the most realistic for where you are right now. Now, if you're like, I already know what I want to do, I've got one thing, great. But if you're like, I'm not sure, then choose 3 so that we can really explore that throughout the year. So for example, you can say affiliate marketing, course creation, YouTube channel, something like that. And then finally, 4 is I want you to set your vision. I want you to write a statement about what you want to achieve online. So something like, in 6 months, I want to have this many followers and earn this much income, or I want to launch this product, something like that. And you can put all those things in there or just one. I want you to think like, in 6 months, I have become a successful affiliate marketer through Amazon or something like that. Like, I want you to define what your vision is. And then the last thing I want you to do is I want you to jump into our Monetize Your Social Media group, and I want you to submit your homework and share it in that group. So we'll have a post that's going to go up in about an hour. It will show up in there, and then you can go in and put in there um, your answers to these things. And so it'll all be in there. You can kind of write it out. And the reason why I want you to do that is I want you to become part of a community. I want you to feel like you've got somebody, you've got a community behind you that is cheering you along. So, Kelly, it's not a Facebook group. John, can you drop the link to the Monetize Your Socials? Let me see if I can find it. I think that, give me just a moment. Oh, there it is. Perfect. John's got it right there. So you can jump into that group. And we'll have you submit your homework there. And then I want you to come back tomorrow. Put a 5 in the comments if you're planning on coming back tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to do a deep dive into all the different platforms and how people are using them. I also want to invite you to share this with somebody that you know who is wanting to build their business online. Somebody who this would benefit with. This is a free boot camp this week that anyone can participate in. And just like all my boot camps, I promise to bring massive value, but this one I have put so much heart and soul in. And so the more we can share it, the better. Now, if you're part of our VIP group, we right after this, you're going to get an email within the next 5 minutes. I'm going to go get a drink. You'll get an email with a Zoom room that you'll be able to jump into. I want you to bring your questions. I want you to bring your comments. This is where we're going to brainstorm. You can ask anything. We can jump in and you can say, okay, this is my industry. What are some of the options? And we can go through and chat through that live. And then you can also just jump on and listen and be inspired by other people. Thank you all so much for being here. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. And good luck with your homework. And we'll see you inside the Monetize Your Social group. Talk to you all soon. Bye.